It didn't get the very biggest audiences. The series with the most episodes making the top 20 of the weekly ratings was Z-Cars. In 1962, all television was black and white, so now only can we reveal to you that the Z-Cars were yellow. Thanks very much indeed for that, by the way.
Very good.
Great, excellent. It was about 15 miles an hour bouncing.
That's about 15 miles an hour,
Brian
yes.
Blessed, welcome to Greatest Hits. Why, first of all, were the cars yellow?
Well, the yellow is a sympathetic colour. Apparently the white just caused glares on the camera. That was the main problem. It's so strange being back here. They're lovely cars. They're so solid, aren't they? And also the gear stick is way up here as well, which the police always said gave you great accuracy because you never took your eyes off the road. And so if you're a good driver, then it showed.
But could you drive?
You know, I couldn't drive, of course, you see. 45 minutes of the film was live, and there was 5 minutes of the show that was filmed, and therefore I couldn't drive, and I had a little man underneath me. He just used to kind of work the pedals. So I was a bit of a fraud, I'm afraid. But eventually I learned to drive, so I overcame it. But the people complained about my driving. There was a mirror, and I never looked in the mirror, and I never seemed to change gear at all. I just drive like this, which I had lots of complaints.
So it was a live programme, I've got to point out. A lot of it was live, as you said, so that has special problems.
I remember driving one old man, and we'd finished the scene, and you had to wait for the other scene to start, and the BP, the back projection, was still going, so we're still driving along, and he started to get out. And, of course, the camera's right on my face, very close, as you can see there, and I just said, don't get out. I said, what? I said, don't get out, don't get out, don't get out. And he started to get out, and I held on to him, and he started to fight me. And pull away, and then he got out the car at 60 miles an hour.
And what about you? Because you did make a couple of mistakes yourself, didn't you?
I mean, I used to make lots of mistakes. I was always the worst culprit. One of the worst things was that I got out the car once, and, of course, the microphone's inside the car. And I reached in and said, Z Victor 1 to BD. Because I realised I put my hand through the windscreen, which...
What did the real police think of Z-Cars at the time?
The real police actually hated it because the first episode showed Jeremy Kemp having given his wife a black eye and things like that. So for a while the police didn't take to it. And then they started to love it, and they started to realise it was very, very real, and then they became very helpful, and then they fell in love with it.
Well, thank you very much indeed for coming along and sharing some moments with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Blessed.
It's a pleasure.
From the Army game, Bootsy and Snug.